of the greater problems of promoting the sport of airsoft is that because we use replica guns, it's going to automatically disqualify us in the eyes of a lot of people that just don't like guns, because obviously they look like real guns and it scares the living crap out of those people. So they just don't listen to any of the arguments that we make, and they just feel like, well, this is something that's frivolous and probably ought to be banned or limited. And if you've seen any of the laws that have come out recently, people are desperately trying to do that. So I thought today we'd do a quick video looking at the other side of airsoft, because there's a lot that goes on here, especially at this arena on a regular basis, that is really positive experience for the people that come here on a regular basis. Not only are we giving them a safe environment where they can play airsoft, but there's a lot more than that going on, where people are learning about gun safety, and there's a really great community here. So we went and talked to a few of the folks that come here on a regular basis, and you'll notice that they're all professionals. Some of them are military, some of them just generally, professional adults that have a really unique view of what we're doing here. And it's worth listening to, because, I think we get a bad rap a lot of the time because people think, well, it's just a bunch of kids running around in the neighborhood, going amok and, screwing things up and getting the police called on them. It's not like that, and it's important that this side of the story be heard as well. So take a listen to this and draw your own conclusions. As a referee here, what do you think your biggest job is? Trying to maintain order or provide safety, or what do you think is the main thing that you're concerned with when you're up there?
Well, as maybe cliche as it sounds, it's a little bit of everything. Obviously I want to make sure everybody leaves with a smile. That's important, but it's also to make sure everybody plays safe. If somebody's out there and they're not calling their hits, or somebody's there and they're breaking safety rules, that's going to kind of take away from the fun from everybody, but it's also going to endanger that person and everybody else. So I have to make sure that everybody stays safe, and I think through being safe, you can have a lot of fun. Right.
How did you first get into airsoft?
Well, I first got into airsoft because my dad was actually in the Marine Corps. He served in the Marine Corps from 1992 to 1998. And my dad actually bought me a gun. He bought me an airsoft gun because he wanted to show me how to properly use a gun and able to understand the mechanics of a gun, how to use it safely around people, not around people, and stuff like that. And that's how I really got into airsoft.
Do you consider airsoft to be a legitimate sport?
I do consider airsoft to be a legitimate sport, just like esports are become a legitimate sport. You can get a visa to play esports. I think airsoft is a legitimate sport, and it fits the definition of a sport. You can it's a lot of running, it's a lot of accuracy, it's a lot of things that go into the sport that people just don't see from the outside.
I can see it as a sport only because it's the same thing a sport brings together. It brings together teamwork, camaraderie. It brings together, the home away from home type of feeling. So that's what I think. That definitely makes it a team.
What do you think of your experience here at this arena? What do you think of what's going on here?
I love Replay Airsoft. This place is awesome. We've been to a couple of other CQB fields around the area. The staff here, you guys are really safe. Magazines don't go in the guns until you enter the field, obviously. Before you even enter the field, you have to have your eye protection and your lower face protection on. You guys are really knowledgeable as far as, the guns that you have for sale, your rental guns, all of that. And I've never had anyone be rude to me here. Everyone that plays here is great. It all meshes together really well.
I feel absolutely safe here. You've got rules in place to protect everybody who comes to play at your establishment. It's an extremely safe environment for everybody who comes to play.
What do you think about just the physical activity with doing this? You get a pretty good workout out there?
Yeah, I do actually. And I'm in the military, so like I mentioned, I'm reasonably fit, I like to think. And even when I'm out there, it gets my heart rate up. I've got a decent sweat going. It's a great way to be active, and it's also a great way to promote, basic firearm safety, because a lot of these guns that we use are very similar to the real counterpart. They operate very similarly, and it's just a great way to promote basic safety for anything, honestly.
A lot of guys say airsoft is just for kids. What do you say to that?
No, I've been doing airsoft for like 6 years now, and I see anywhere from ex-Marines, Navy SEALs, grown men come out there and they teach us a thing or two. It's all age range for people who just want to have fun.
What kind of reaction do you get from the parents as far as their experience with their kids here?
I would say 99% of the parents that we have, they love bringing their kids here. I mean, on Friday nights, for example, we're watching them. They're having fun. They're not sitting on the couch playing Xbox, and we feed them. It was free pizza night. Other than that, I mean, a lot of parents love dropping their kids off here because it's something that not only to get them off the couch and, all that kind of stuff, but it's just fun. we treat it very responsibly here. We take care of everyone here and all the equipment and all that stuff, and we don't have any problems.
It's fun. It's enjoyable. You don't have to have any sort of actual tactical training to do it. You can just come out and sling small, harmless plastic pellets.
So it's an excellent way to help introduce basic firearm safety and principles to younger people who might not be able to do that otherwise. This here might be the only exposure they get, and if we can keep that, that's wonderful.
Obviously, there's competition. People get really into it, but it's just a game, and everybody here realizes and appreciates that, and there's a really good team spirit amongst everybody who plays together and a really good competitive spirit overall.
So hopefully this gives you a better perspective on exactly what goes on here at this Airsoft Arena. And if you can tell by the interviews, we go to a lot of trouble to make sure that we're providing not only a safe environment where people can play the sport, but also an atmosphere that is just very enjoyable, where people just want to come back and do it over and over again. This is not just some sort of frivolous sport where people are just running amok and, you know, causing problems and getting into trouble. This is a serious sport that a lot of folks are really into. And I think it has a lot of positive benefits where people are learning about gun safety. We're getting kids off the street and giving them a place to go. And, you know, if you come here on Friday nights, we're feeding them too. So we do our bit to try to provide for the community as well. If you want to find out more about this arena and how you can participate, you can check us out on the web at replayairsoft.com, or come on down and get a tour and we'll be glad to show you around. So until then, don't let the bastards get you down.